Welcome to Starwatch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Paris, the city of light, and this time the light shone brightest on one man. As the doors of the LOEWE Fall Winter 2025 show opened, every camera turned. Every whisper in the crowd shared one name, Wang Yibo. From the very first step on that runway, he wasn't just walking into a show. He was walking into history. When the clock struck on October 3rd, the anticipation surrounding Paris Fashion Week reached its peak. Amidst the flashes of cameras and murmurs of the global elite, one name seemed to ripple through the crowd like a whispered secret, Wang Yibo. His appearance was not just expected, it was longed for. And when his studio finally unveiled the poetic caption, "A breeze lifts the hem of a coat, light and shadow weave into rhythm," the internet erupted with speculation and excitement. That single line captured what was about to unfold, a delicate balance between movement and stillness, grace and rebellion, tradition and innovation. As he stepped into the heart of Paris, Wang Yibo carried with him not only the latest creation from LOEWE's Fall Winter 2025 collection, but the quiet confidence of someone who no longer needed to prove anything. His outfit, a masterful blend of sharp geometry and soft fluidity, seemed to breathe as he moved. It was a dialogue between bold design and subtle artistry, between the structure of European tailoring and the minimalist sophistication often associated with Asian aesthetics. Every element of his look told a story. The clashing plaids spoke of creative risk, the sharp cut of his coat embodied precision, and the way he wore it all effortlessly made it poetry in motion. The crowd, a sea of stylists, photographers, and cultural critics, collectively leaned forward. It wasn't merely about what he wore but about how he was. There was a serenity in his posture, a rare calm that seemed to slow the chaos around him. To many, that composure symbolized something more than fashion. It was a reflection of how far he had come. From a young performer in China to an artist whose name now resonated across continents, Wang Yibo had become an emblem of quiet power and global connection. As the show began and the lights dimmed, it was as though the entire room revolved around him. He wasn't trying to dominate the spotlight. The spotlight simply followed. Paris had seen countless stars, yet this moment felt different, more intimate, more human. In that instant, Wang Yibo didn't just arrive at a fashion show. He arrived at a new chapter of his legacy. Inside the grand venue of the LOEWE Fall Winter 2025 show, a subtle electricity filled the air. The audience, a constellation of designers, journalists, and global icons, waited in suspended silence. Then, under the glow of white light, Wang Yibo emerged, not with the arrogance of fame, but with the quiet certainty of someone who knows who he is. The moment he appeared, time seemed to slow. His presence carried an elegance that words could barely contain. Neither forced nor flamboyant, but deeply magnetic, like gravity itself drawing every gaze toward him. Every movement he made felt deliberate yet uncalculated, as though his natural rhythm was perfectly synchronized with the energy of the show. Cameras clicked relentlessly, capturing not just a celebrity attending an event, but a man embodying the essence of LOEWE's philosophy. Fluid, intellectual, and profoundly human. Critics often speak of fashion as an art form, but on that stage, Yibo became both the canvas and the artist. His poise, his eyes that seemed to hold stories untold, his stillness amid the noise. All these elements transformed a fleeting moment into a living work of art. Observers later described him as the quiet storm of Paris Fashion Week. His aura did not demand attention. It commanded it effortlessly. Fashion journalists noted how he blended the precision of European couture with an unspoken Eastern serenity, crafting a new definition of sophistication that transcended borders. Stylists called him the Prince of Understated Rebellion, someone who challenged convention simply by being authentic. There was no need for exaggerated gestures or dramatic flair. His restraint was his power. What made this moment unforgettable was not the outfit alone, but the message it carried. In a world obsessed with noise and spectacle, Wang Yibo reminded everyone that true influence whispers rather than shouts. His confidence came not from being seen, but from being understood. That evening in Paris, he did more than attend a show, he defined it. When he walked through the crowd afterward, the applause was quiet but sincere, as if every spectator recognized they had just witnessed something that would linger in fashion's collective memory. It wasn't merely about what he wore, but about what he was, a reflection of grace, balance, and the timeless art of presence. What happened on the LOEWE runway that evening went far beyond the fleeting glamour of fashion. It was not simply a presentation of clothes or the celebration of a brand. It was a dialogue between cultures, a fusion of art and identity. When Wang Yibo stepped into that space, the meaning of the moment expanded beyond aesthetics. His presence became a bridge, connecting East and West, tradition and innovation, stillness and motion. He was not merely wearing a designer's vision. He was embodying it, translating it into something universally understood: confidence, grace, and authenticity. In the hours following the show, the impact spread like wildfire across the digital world. From Beijing to Seoul, from Paris to New York, timelines were filled with images of Wang Yibo's calm expression and effortlessly elegant stance. Yet what captivated people most was not his fame, but what he represented: the idea that artistry can speak louder than words, that a single appearance can shift global perceptions of beauty and creativity. Western fashion critics praised his refined minimalism, calling it a reminder that subtlety still reigns supreme in the age of excess. Meanwhile, Asian commentators celebrated how his poise and humility revealed a new dimension of influence, one that does not chase attention but naturally draws it. The LOEWE team later reflected that Yibo's attendance elevated the show's narrative from a seasonal showcase into a cultural statement. Through him, the brand's concept of quiet innovation found its perfect human expression. It was as if his very presence reaffirmed that fashion is not just about luxury, but about the courage to be oneself amid a world that constantly demands reinvention. For the fans watching online, this moment was both personal and universal. It was about representation, seeing someone from their world standing effortlessly in one of the most prestigious arenas of global style. But beyond pride, there was inspiration. The recognition that true artistry transcends fame, language, and geography. That night, Wang Yibo did not simply walk off the runway. He walked into the consciousness of millions. The applause that followed was more than appreciation. It was acknowledgement that something quietly powerful had shifted, and that fashion had once again reminded the world of its deeper purpose: to connect, to inspire, and to make us feel. Over the years, we've watched him grow, from a dancer with dreams to a global fashion phenomenon. His journey isn't just about fame. It's about perseverance, authenticity, and creativity without limits. Every appearance, every collaboration, tells the same story. You can come from anywhere and still stand tall under the world's brightest lights. And that's what makes Wang Yibo's Paris moment unforgettable. It wasn't just fashion, it was evolution. If this story moved you, if Wang Yibo's journey inspires you to chase your own dreams, don't forget to hit subscribe and join our community here at Starwatch now. We bring you closer to the people, stories, and emotions that shape the world of entertainment and style. Thank you for watching, and remember, the brightest stars are the ones who dare to be different. Glowing star.